Alright, what's going on there, peeps? It's been quite a while since I've done a update video on the Death Sting here. Of course, an airplane, military jet would be flying over here. So this is basically just going to be an update video of what I've done to the car. It's pretty much in its final spot in terms of prepping. I'm honestly just waiting for this stupid fucking disease to blow over. And I'm waiting for a warmer day to paint the car. California right now, it gets to about 60s during the day and about 40s, low 40s at night. So I'm waiting for a nice 80, 85 degree day, even anywhere between 80 and 90 to paint the car. So as you can see on the bottom here and in my community post, I've added fog lights to the car now. So on these SN95 Mustangs of 94 to 98, hell, even 99 to 04 Mustangs, they didn't really get fog lights as an option on the car. Only the cream of the crop GT Mustangs got fog lights, so you had to buy the premium package of a GT to even really own fog lights, as far as I know. None of the V6 applicants ever came with them, and that's why you see a lot of them on the road that have the fog light carved, the fog light area carved out in the bumper, but there's nothing there because it's cheaper to manufacture all just one bumper, and it's cheaper to manufacture all one harness, because you know you can have the plug for the fog lights in your center console like I do, but it's not being used. Again, Ford does this to make it cheaper in terms of production. Why make two separate types of harnesses, you know, wiring harnesses for the cars? It's just very cost effective in that regard, you know. So in that respect, that's pretty nice that they leave that option in there in case that you ever want to do something like this. However, I didn't use the factory plug that's in the car to actually wire these in. As you're about to see, I did a very Mickey Mouse job of splicing these into my daytime running lights, which is another option you can do, but it's not necessarily the right way to do it. So here's the fog lights right here. I have the plastic still covering them because I don't want them to get damaged while I'm still working on them, because I'm still working around the front of the car. So right now the bumper's clearly off, the headlights are taken out. Fog light there, fog light on the other side. So what I had done is I went to the junkyard. We get behind the fog light here, and I basically cut the pigtail connector, so this connects into the bulb here, and then I basically cut the harness pigtail I cut it at about right here. As you can see, it's being spliced in there, so that's why I don't really want to completely take it out. But what I had done is I wired it into my daytime running lights, into the positive side. So what I had done was I cut the daytime running light and I spliced that orange positive cable for the fog light into the positive side. Again, I'm not really good with electrical, so bear with me. So I basically spliced the positive and the positive together, you know, twisted them together, and then I crimped them in here. And this is a connector right here. I have it covered with electrical tape so it doesn't touch any metal, you know, metal to metal contact. Again, this is a very botched job, but you're never going to see this, so I'm not really concerned about neatness. And so anytime you turn on the daytime running lights, the fog lights will kick on, and they'll stay on even when you turn on the headlights. Now, again, ideally what you want to do is you want to connect them to the factory switch, which would be located in the center console of the car in there. I can't figure out how to do that effectively. I need to see some wiring diagrams and things like that, and I can't find anything online that's really helpful in terms of the wiring diagrams for this car. So I'm leaving it right now as just splicing it into the daytime running lights and keeping it like that. Now, my other biggest concern with doing that, though, is you don't want to have too much things connected to one circuit. So as you can see here, I have halogen bulbs for my side markers, but to utilize as much wattage and conserve as much wattage as possible, I've decided to completely go LED on everything on the lights. So I do have some LED side marker bulbs for the turn signals. They're inside the garage. I'm not putting them in right now because I don't want them to get wet or screwed up, so I'm just keeping the crappy halogens for now. And my new headlights, you know, they have LEDs that are built into them as well. The halos have LEDs, the bottom has LEDs, so that you have to put that into consideration when you're wiring this all on one circuit. And then I'm gonna have to replace the halogen low beam bulb with a LED bulb. So I don't think I'm ever going to be able to run my high beams, but again, I have fog lights and I'm using LEDs. That should be more than enough light, honestly, compared to halogen. So I don't think I'll ever have to use my I'll never have to use my high beams, hopefully at all, unless I'm probably up in the mountains or something. So yeah, so that's something to take consider. So yeah, that's basically how I wired the fog lights in there. It's pretty simple. And then what you do with the ground, which I failed to mention, is you just basically ground the ground to any piece of metal, which a lot of you electricians already know this is just basic shit. So I basically grounded it to the fender here, and that basically creates my ground. And then I rinse and repeated the same thing on the driver's side, because obviously we're looking at the passenger side. Now, as far as the car is concerned, like I said, it's pretty much done. I think I still have to work at the hood right here. I got to make sure I don't have any high spots, because I think I created one on this edge right here. So, and it still kind of feels like I may have one, so I may have to, oh gross, I may have to work at that again. Just basically going over any of the high spots. And then what I'm going to do is I have a wool pad. I'm going to wet sand it with the wool pad all over the car. I've already done that once, but I'm going to do it one final time once the car is done, and then that'll be said and done. And then I'll basically take it over to my uncle's house, and then we're going to go ahead and paint it. I did take the rear bumper off, and I did do that single-handedly off camera. I don't want to show my license plate here, but so it's pretty much done as well. I took that off individually and it looks like crap. As you can see, the nasty yellow plastic showing through the paint. So that's pretty much done. I don't know about the taillights. I don't know if I want to buy new taillights. I think I'm just going to try to restore these and just keep these. But yeah, not a whole lot to it. There's a lot of bare metal, as you can see. I'm not really too concerned with covering this up with paint right now, because obviously I don't live next to the ocean. I don't live in a snow country or snow state, so I don't have to really worry about salt. You know, I don't know what the term is. I think they call it oxidizing the metal to basically, you know, erode it and then cause rust. So again, what I'll do is if there is any type of flash rust on the actual metal, I will just basically wet sand it with the wool pad, and that'll take off any of the flash rust on there, and then we'll paint it. Yeah, I got all the dings out of the hood. The hood was probably the most difficult part of the car, specifically these ones right here. I had a ding, and I still think I can feel it, but not too bad. Yeah, it's still a little wavy right here, but honestly I'm probably going to call that good. It's really difficult to get the dings out that are really close to the actual window, because you have this stupid gasket for the window right here. And if I take this off, I'm gonna have to re-adhesive it, and I just don't want to do that. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that. And then I almost missed this ding right here. There's a ding located right here, so I body filled that in too, and that's why you see a patch right here. I think that's all of the dings on the hood. I think that should do it, hopefully. Yeah, car's still coming along. It's just a very slow process. I got most of the body aligned too, so that's really good. If you guys remember, I don't know if I've talked about this in my past videos, but I had a problem with this driver's side fender not aligning very well with the hood. And I managed to get it pretty damn perfect. It's probably not 100% factory perfect, but the lines, you can barely really see them. You can probably see a little bit worse on the driver's side, but again, I can't really be too picky with that. This car's been hit like at least probably 3 or 2 times, considering the first owner of this car said it never been in an accident, and that was living proof that that was a lie. When I first took off the bumper off this, and the support columns were bent inwards, and I actually managed to bend them pretty damn straight from when it first got hit, or whenever it did. So yeah, you know, it's an old car. It's going on 23, 24. I don't know. It's a 98, so I mean, it's bound to have issues like that. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. As the Death Sting, and if I have anything else to add to it, I will definitely do that. I have a shit ton of parts that are inside the garage for this car. Again, this car's gonna look really nice once it's nice and painted and I put all the trim and everything back on the car. I think the next thing I'm gonna be doing, I thought about it, and I like I thought about doing it, and then I'm like, I don't know if I want to, but then I'm like, it would definitely be a cleaner job if I did. I'm probably gonna actually start doing the body work on the door jambs, and then what I'm gonna do is, when it comes to paint day, we're literally just going to tape drape. They call it a tape drape, where you basically tape the top of it, and then it has a plastic drape that comes down, and I'm just going to basically keep the car doors open, and then we're going to spray it from the inside to do the door jambs, and that should probably do it. I don't know if I really want to, but I'm thinking that I'm going to do the door jambs as well. So all right, well, yep, you know what to do. Comment section below, guys. Peace out.